All right. Shalom, shalom. All praise, honor, and glory go to Yahweh, ahchyam, Yahushai, ahchyam, Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who teach 100% truth of the Holy Scriptures. You other brothers out there on the highways and byways, and you hopeful elect out there, shalom. We got Ephesians 5:22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands, as unto the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the Savior of the body. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, which is true ancient Hebrew name is Yahushai. The one who we ignorantly call Jesus, his name is Yahushai. So let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Husbands, love your wives, even as Yahushai loved the church and gave himself for it. Now, I was watching this very interesting documentary, and I'm sure most brothers have probably come across it by now. It's pretty old right now, but it's called Frustrated. It's one of the better documentaries I've come across, actually, and I couldn't help to make a quick video on this subject, because it goes to show, like, this particular, we're under curses. This particular curse hits, Jake, the so-called, what you so-called African Americans, it hits them the hardest, and it hits all the tribes. But Jake gets this the hardest, because the women have no respect. They're combative, disrespectful. They go to the enemy more than they do to them. And this documentary, I'm just gonna show a section, just so you can get an idea. Hopefully they don't take the video down, but at this point, it's whatever. But the documentary just kind of proves, like, even these men that are going abroad, like, they understand what's going on out here, even though they're not in the truth. They're just out here trying to flee the curses. Eventually, you can't really flee the curses, because they're going to be everywhere. But at least they're getting some kind of peace, even if it's for the short term. Because at some point the curses will catch up to you. And it's going to be like that till Yahushua returns. But it just pretty much proves how, the family is split apart. They're not together. Men are going their own way. They're not the head of the household like they desire to be. Women trying to lead, and it's not working. Let me before I continue, let me just go ahead and play this so you can get an idea.
A lot of this has to do sometimes with the women that we are involved with, especially now with the workforce, with the majority of the women making much more money than the man. That then causes a problem with the woman, because now what happens is the woman wants to be the boss at the home, and at the workplace. And us as men have problems with that because we want to also be able to lead in our household and take care of our families.
And oftentimes women find it whenever they're going out to look for a mate, it's difficult to find someone who is, I guess, earning enough money to be their partner. And that can cause frustration, I think, in relationships. And I think that's also one of the issues that we see today with the relationships of African American men and African American women.
So we'd be to blame because black men can't, catch up with us or aren't on the same playing field. I think sometimes it comes off as being angry or we don't get along. But I think should we settle for less or should we apologize for our success?
See, let me just pause it right here. See, that attitude, that is the perfect example. She's proving why men are stepping away, why men are just leaving. We don't want you to be successful. You don't have to be successful to us. We need you to support us and help us be successful, and in turn you will be successful under us. See, what happens, you become so successful in the world that that you can't find the man that you say you want on your level. Well, we're not looking for that. Everything is backwards in this society. Everything is upside down and backwards. That's really not what we're looking for. Me as a man, I don't care if I find you attractive and for whatever reason I want to be in a relationship with you, I get along with you, I want to take you on as my wife. It doesn't matter if you're the CEO of a company or if you're working the drive-thru at McDonald's. Like, a man, if I feel some kind of way about you, I feel some kind of way about you. Like, we just don't we don't see it that way. So you women, like, you've been lied to. You've been lied to. You've been believing a lie, and you're not listening to the men that are around you.
Some of the difficulties that some of my friends are having are economics, and those difficulties are coming from with the woman making more money than the man, and with the man feeling inferior in his own household. And with that, there is definitely a problem because the man now feels as if he's now almost like a second child in the house, and women tend to almost treat their mate like one of the children. And that definitely causes a problem. And I find that, especially even with a lot of my friends, they choose to not even want to deal in those situations. And then they look to do other things and go other places and deal with women of other nationalities other than black women.
I have to take a back seat and I have to, make sure that you're taken care of all day. I have to come in and be like, oh, honey, here's dinner on the table that I made just for you. I don't think that necessarily exists. But I think it might not necessarily be because, I don't think that it's necessarily because black women don't want to do it, but sometimes they don't have time.
In today's society, I think what happens is...
All right, let me talk about that. You're not supposed... You don't have time because you're not supposed to be out here trying to compete with a man. You're not supposed to be trying to out earn a man. You're supposed to be taking care of the house and taking care of his needs and feeding him and making him dinner as often as possible. And in turn, he's going to feel like a king and he will take care of you. Naturally, he's going to want to make sure you have everything that you need and desire. So you got it all backwards. You got it twisted.
Woman is working when she comes home. she don't want to be bothered. You know, she's had a hard day. You know, she doesn't want to really hear about your day. She wants to tell you about her day. And I think that with both parties working and with women making the majority of the money, they feel as though they don't have to give of themselves like that because I'm making the money. I'm the breadwinner.
Money plays a major role in relationships in America, a major role, and that's a part of, and that perhaps is a part of the problem. You know, perhaps a lot of our priorities are in the wrong place, and family should be the center.
They want to feel that security. It's no different than, you know, your relationship with your father. You still want that security. You want that comfort from a man. That's the number one. You know, so like I said, if you want a woman to, you know, cook for you, to clean for you, to do whatever else for you, it goes both ways. You want to be taken care of in that way. A woman wants to be taken care of financially. You know, what they say, women marry for money all the time. That is damn true because women want to feel secure. They want that, you know, security blanket. I don't have to worry about my bills being paid. I know that he is there for me. Whatever happens, we're going to be okay.
I'm not saying I depend on you, but you should be able to. Like, I don't want to know that if I lose my job, you can't help out. If I go to work and I'm making 6 figures, I feel like you need to at least make 75.
And I also find that a lot of times in relationships, especially with black men, and they find out that they're having trouble with these women, they decide to go elsewhere and go to other places. I'll have several friends who just went up and moved to Brazil.
You can't satisfy the woman in this society. That's why it doesn't matter. Make $1 million a year. It doesn't matter who you are. You can look like Superman. You can make Bill Gates money. You can make Trump money. It won't matter. And men are frustrated, you know, hence the name of the show, but that's why the you know, this whole MGTOW thing has come about. That's why they're leaving. That's why they're finding women that are appreciating whatever it is that they can do for them. Because in these other societies, in these, you know, places like Brazil, South America, the man is still held, you know, more on a pedestal. It's reversed. It's still, you know, revered or whatever.
From Chicago. My name is Harold Motley from New Jersey.
All right, I'm gonna let this clip play, a couple more clips, and then bring out a couple more scriptures, and that'll be it.
I've been in Rio 3 good times. I've been in Rio 19 times. I anticipated a poor and kind of desolate, beat up area with you know, people living on the sidewalks and that kind of stuff, man. But she's not like that at all. On what he's saying, a lot of people have a misconception that this is some kind of third world country. There are ladies walking down the street swinging shopping bags like any other big city in America, spending money. And they have things down here that would not survive in the States. Like on every 2 or 3 blocks, you got a grocery store. And these people tend to shop exclusively in their area like that. That concept would never last in America, though. We go to one big supermarket, if it's 6, 7, 8 blocks away. Here, everybody's down here walking, or something, and so people tend to shop in their neighborhood. There's concepts down here that would not survive in America.
Women are noticing that their men are crossing the borders to find happiness, romance, or even just somebody to have a good time, hang out with. They're not taking I know a cat that used to take women on vacations. He don't do that no more. He come to Brazil. Why? Because his vacation is here.
No, they say I'd love to go with you, Harold, but nah, man, my wife is not gonna let me go down there. That tells me if a man's wife is not gonna let him come, then you got problems.
I know guys who would love to come down here, but they said, man, and I tell them, I say, you don't want to come down to Rio. I said, because if you do, you're going to come back thinking, how can I get rid of her? This will change your thinking of women down here. I said, don't come to Brazil. I said, take your wife on an Alaskan cruise, buddy. Don't come to Rio by yourself. I said, because you're going to come back seriously depressed when you hit the States.
The world is more like yourself than people in the U.S. tend to believe. If you don't travel, you don't understand what's happening outside of the borders of the U.S. And that's why I call back at home the Matrix. They want you to believe that the end-all to be-all is what's happening in the U.S. It's not. The world is more like one another than the U.S. will lead you to believe. A lot of people want you to believe that the U.S. is the world, and it's not.
Yes, I definitely believe that traveling and seeing other parts of the world is definitely a key thing, because we need to open our horizons. A lot of times by being in our communities, all we see is what's in our community, and we believe that that is the entire world. In actuality, it's really not. The world is a vast, great place, and we need to get out and see more. You know, we need to vacation outside of United States borders. You need to see how other cultures live, how other cultures do things. We need to see how women are from other places and how they interact with their men and how they interact in society, you know, because we need to also see that what we're doing here in America is not the whole world, nor does that make it right just because we're here in America.
All right, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. But definitely check out this documentary. Very eye-opening, in case you haven't watched it already. I ain't gonna lie, like, if I never came into this truth, if I never found out about this, like, that's something that would be in the back of my mind, because this place is a nightmare. Like, you know, if like I'm saying, if I didn't know about this truth, like, that, you know, it's all about curses, and you really can't escape them. You know, I would definitely have that in the back of my mind to try and escape them. You know, going somewhere else. You know, trying something different, starting over, something. Proverbs 21:19. It is better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and angry woman. Why would you want to deal with a wife or a woman that's constantly combative, causing you problems, in your face, yelling at you, treating you like a child, putting her hand in your face? Why would you want to deal with that? As a man, you don't want another man, especially a straight man. You don't want another man. If you wanted to be combative, if you wanted to fight, you know, you go to a bar and pick a fight. I don't want to be challenged by a woman, especially my woman. So, it's better to find someone that is feminine, more submissive, that wants to cater to a man, that wants to treat a man like a king. I don't know if it showed, but another part of this documentary was talking about, you know, one of the guys was like, these women down here, they treat me like the man that I feel like I am, like I feel like I should be treated. And he was just dumbfounded, like, I didn't know this was, you know, this existed anymore. Proverbs 21:9. It is better to dwell in a corner of a housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. And that's sad. That says a lot. You know? It's better to just have your own little spot, little place. where you can just barely make it, you're good by yourself, than with a beautiful big house, but someone's always getting on your nerves or fighting with you. So yeah, man, I just wanted to talk about that real quick. Give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh. Yahweh, the name of the Most High God. Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash, and Abba Baba. Shalom.